Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and welcome to my craft room. This is my Whip It Wednesday video where I show you whatever I've worked on in the craft room this week, whether I've just done a little bit, couple stitches, or I've actually finished a project. Once again this week I do have a finished project, so that's kind of exciting. Now I know you guys tease me all the time because I say I didn't get very much done this week, and then I pull out like 15 projects and you're like, Robin, come on, we wish we could get that much done. I just tend to work on a little bit of everything every day and I can get a lot done. But this week there was a lot of behind the scenes things. Like I had to work on putting things in the shop. I had to do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of cleaning. I put trees up and things like that. It's that time of the year where even for me, I didn't get a lot done in the craft room this week. I think I'm going to only show you 4 things this week, and now that's a really small number for me. But I did go ahead and get the water done for the most part on this crewel embroidery project. I still have the water here to do, but this is a golden color for the water that's coming off the boat as he's doing his little sail thing. So I need to finish off the boat. That's all gold also. And then I just have the sail to do. And then this project will be done and ready to go back to its owner. I did kind of underestimate how much time a crewel embroidery project takes. Now when I'm doing the regular hand embroidery, like when you saw me do the unicorn and the different roses and flowers and stuff, that goes really quick. Even if I'm doing a lot of satin stitch, I can really whip through that pretty quick. But apparently when you're working with wool, wool's a tricky little bugger, and you have to take special considerations in for it, and it just took me longer to do. And it didn't help much that I actually took out 3/4 of the sky and did it twice again. So this one, as I said, will be close to finished. I definitely want to have this finished before the end of the month. I want this to get back to its owner. This is going to be one of, I guess you can't say it's your main project when you have 2 main projects, but there's going to be 2 things that I'm working on this week, and this is going to be one of them because I need to have this finished. I want it finished. It needs to go home. My finished item is brown, so it's just kind of hard to see, but this is a 2x2 ribbed hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll go ahead and put a link down below. It's the watchman cap. It's meant for making for people out at sea and the soldiers and stuff like that. You make a really, really long tube. Well, you knit it. You still do decrease it on the top, so it's not actually like a tube. But you make a 2x2 rib. And then this allows them to fold it up as high as they want. And they can make it slouchy or not slouchy. And that's just a basic, it's just a basic simple hat. This is finishes off Christmas presents, so I can get this into the mail. And it should still get there in time for Christmas. And if not, Christmas being a little late is okay, right? Since I finished that hat, I can now move on to Robbie's socks. I was right here, so I did get some work done on these. This actually did all this yesterday. So I still need to do probably about 20 more rounds before I can start to heal, and then I'll be able to get to that. Now, my goal is to get these done in time for him for Christmas. This is the one colorway that he's aware of. But I do have 3 other pairs that he's going to be getting. So he'll be fine. He's going to be really excited about these. He's going to say whatever. And I know he's going to like these. So that'll be nice for him. But if I don't get him finished in time, he will get them after Christmas. And it'll be fine because, as I said, he's got other things to open. I mentioned last week that I was going to start a new scrappy sock yarn blanket. This is, I believe it's the Nor'easterly. Once again, I'll put a link down below. Otherwise, it's on my Ravelry page. It was free for a day or 2, and now I think it's only like $3. And what you do is you make like, these remind me of the feathers from an arrow. It's going to kind of be a chevron. As you're knitting it, you can't always see. As you're changing colors, it doesn't look like much of a chevron because I have my needles on here making it pull straight across. But this one, what you're doing is you're moving and knitting in columns, and you can change the color whenever you want. So this one is only a little bit left of a ball, so I can finish this one off. And if it's only 2 or 3 inches, and this one happens to be 4 or 5, and the next one's 8, it's okay. Then you go and you work at the next column and you're going to knit into these stitches and connect them as you're knitting. So you might have 4 or 5 columns going, and they could be at various lengths as you're working on them. So you can add your yarn wherever you want into the project. And I don't know, it's just, I like the design, the way it looks here. So it's really fun. Now, I had a hard time with this project when I first started it. I think maybe 6 times I've restarted this project. This yarn has held up really well. I had a different little ball of this orange that I ended up throwing away because it just didn't survive being pulled out constantly. I don't want to give away any pattern details, but there's different increases that she was doing and different techniques that the way it was done, it wasn't working for me, and I just had to switch things up and do it my own way. Which is why I'm glad I picked it up as a free pattern instead of actually paying for it, because I redid the pattern enough that the only thing I used was the beginning count. But that's okay. I'm really liking the way it comes out. I still have that little bit of a raised stitch. It's hard to see right here, but I have a little bit of a line that's going to be going up the center. And I'm enjoying working on this, but I'm trying not to do it except for maybe a couple minutes in the morning, because I have to get Robbie's socks done. Let's look at Robbie's socks while we chat. So that's it. That's all I worked on this week. I am dying to get to the sewing machine. I probably have a good 4 quilts inside my head that need to come out that I'm really looking forward to working on. But once again, they have to wait until after I get through the Christmas crisis of getting all these projects done. Next year will be here. January will be here soon enough, and I'll be able to work on those then. And we can start the new year off and have all kinds of fun working on quilt projects. So other than that, the only thing I've really worked on this week is I went through and I cleared out my yarn stash. A lot of the yarn that I'm just not using anymore. Robbie, these are his socks. He's my 19-year-old. He has a friend, Sierra. He's known her since they were in high school together, possibly even middle school. I don't quite remember. He has a few Sierra people he's known. It must be a pretty popular name right now. But they'd asked me a question. She was showing off a crocheted baby blanket. She wanted to know if it was big enough. And I said, oh yeah, it's a beautiful blanket. She's doing a great job on it. And then Robbie says, oh, by the way, Mom, do you happen to have any yarn you don't want anymore? Because Sierra would, if you don't want it, Sierra would really appreciate it. And I'm like, son, let me tell you, I got something for you. I put a picture up on Instagram. Let me see if I can get one up here. But I had 3 large cloth grocery bags, like the extra large kind that you can fit way more food in than you need. It'd be more for like going out clothes shopping. I just filled those up. One was full skeins, and the other ones were just little leftover balls and half skeins and the cakes that I made. I've been wanting to pass it on to someone, but it's too much money to ship it, and I didn't have anyone else locally that I thought would appreciate it and could use it. And I thought about donating it to a thrift store, but most of the time our thrift stores, it's terrible to say, but a lot of the times they either don't take craft supplies, or the ladies that are working behind doing the stocking of the shelves and stuff, they like to, I don't know if they pay for it or not, I just know that they keep it and it doesn't make it to the shelf. And that's just not guessing. That's actually standing in the store, listening to them on the other side of the wall, divvying up what I've just donated, and it never makes it to the shelves. So that's a shame, and I did not want to donate my yarn that way. I wanted to make sure it went to someone who could use it. So Sierra's probably like, 18, 19, 20, just like Robbie, and, we've all been there before, and that's you're just beginning your life, you're just moving out. You're going to pay your bills and everything, so purchasing yarn, even if it's only $2 or $3 a skein, that really goes, that gets pushed way, way back. That's not a high priority. So she really appreciated everything, and I'm thrilled to have her. I was thrilled to give her the yarn, and it's found a good home. So I cleaned out the closet and got all that yarn up. I had a bunch of fabric that came into the house that needed to be folded and put away. So it's the little things like that. I made cookies. It takes up little bits of time, and before you know it, you don't have any time to do any type of crafting. And that's perfectly fine. I know next week everything's going to change around, and I'll have plenty of time, and I'll have a big pile of stuff here to show you again. So I hope you're enjoying your family this week and find just a little bit of time to do some crafting, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes next week. We all need that to help us relax a little, right? All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.